Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to Parabellum. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting on whatever video you see posted on here. I like to interact with my subscribers. It's always good to get a different perspective on the things that we enjoy and bring us together, which are, of course, these tools. Straight to the point. Yesterday I was chilling and I got this notification. So Walther Firearms, their official YouTube channel, actually commented in one of my videos, as you can see right here. Initially, I thought it was like one of those spam messages that you get from time to time on YouTube and stuff like that. But then I clicked on their handle and it actually took me to their official channel. So I was like, hey, this is actually an official response or official comment from Walther Firearms. So let's check it out. Great video. Keep in mind that we used a step chamber in all of our barrels. This design gives a tighter seal around the brass and results in added muzzle velocity. This can account for some of the felt recoil / snappiness. This can best be understood if you chronograph a handgun with a standard chamber next to a Walther step chamber using the same ammo. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to make a video. I thought that was pretty cool, for them to make sure that we understand the technology behind their designs and things of that nature. So of course I responded, well, thanks for watching and providing more insight to the design of the PDP. That alone tells me that you care about the product that you put out and the people who trust their lives with it. That's rare and commendable. It's certainly refreshing to get a clear explanation from the source over all the speculations I and many others had as to where the extra pep in the felt recoil was coming from. Since I've released this video, I've been working on a side-by-side comparison of multiple handguns that turned out to be a real eye-opener, to say the least. And that's not just on my thoughts about the handguns involved next to the PDP, but my shooting technique as well. So this comment couldn't be more timely. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. Honestly, from just reading that, I got excited. Not because they gave an explanation behind what I was complaining about. This thing is snappy. Because, I was starting to think that, okay, is it just me?
Is it a higher recoiling gun than, let's say, the Steyr? Yes. Than the Glock? Yes.
So let's talk about how it feels to shoot at the range. It's a little snappy for a full-size pistol.
What do you think?
It actually had a little more recoil than I expected.
Yeah,
so
I noticed it was jumping out of your hands a little bit there.
Yeah, it kind of messed me up a little bit.
The recoil, the muzzle rise, something about it just felt much larger when I was shooting it. Like it felt like a 45 in my opinion. That's the only thing I didn't like. It didn't feel like a 9. And normally for me, like the larger size guns, they're way easier to shoot in recoil's perspective. And this one was not like that for me. Why does this feel like a 45?
Snappier than that. I don't know if that's due to the slightly higher bore axis or just the massive chunk and size of the slide, but
the spring maybe.
Something about it makes this gun feel just a little bit snappier in your hand. You feel that beaver tail really kind of dig into your thumb meat right there when you fire a shot. And if you're used to shooting a gun that shoots a little bit softer, like maybe this, at first you'll notice that the red dot wants to jump out of the window.
Like the Walther's like a little snappier, you get that, right?
Yeah.
Like, pretty cool thing on the inside that we have a step chamber on our barrels. So, percentage-wise, like, the first, like, 3/4, not exact percentage, but 3/4 it's a loose fit chamber. Last quarter bit steps down, and it's basically like a match grade chamber, so it wedges itself in there to get higher velocities out of the gun.
So that right there got me excited because I'm like, okay, now with this knowledge, what can I do with this? Based on their explanation, they're able to get more muzzle velocity out of the same round. So here's what got me excited. If you punching basically above your weight class with this barrel, then it's safe for me to go ahead and port it because I wanted to get this thing ported anyways. Let's say if we are over like 20 feet per second, and this is me being conservative, I'll get to the good part very soon. Then by getting it ported, I don't mind losing 20, 30 feet per second because you're already punching above your weight class. So that got me excited. Oh, by the way, I forgot to do this. All right, you good? You good? We good? Clear? All right? We good. But then my brain started to spin. I was like, okay, you are able to get higher muzzle velocity or added muzzle velocity out of that step chamber. It begs the question, how much? I started to research that and I came across this.
So that's your step in the chamber. So you get, you know, like Cody says, you got a tight chamber, keeps high pressure. So you actually get about 50 feet per second more with this gun than a competitor's gun with the same length barrel.
Now, let me be fair. This is coming from a rep from Walther. This is not an official statement from Walther, as far as I know. But they all seem to agree if you watch this.
The PPQ had a step chamber. PDP does as well. What are the benefits you're getting from this?
Ammo just locks up better. You get more pressure and more velocity as a result of that, and a more consistent recoil impulse.
Yeah, it's funny. I always heard people that they would always compare the PPQ because PPQ had a step chamber and it'd be like, it's snappier than Glock 19. I noticed all my ammo that was made for a 128 power factor, I was putting in my PPQ and I was shooting like a 136 or 137 power factor. I was like, what the heck, man? And started doing the research, and then we, found out the step chamber was just pushing a lot higher velocities, and so it's a funny little thing. We wanted to get that out there just to show people, and we didn't think it was ever told. I mean, no one really knew about it. So
yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, super neato.
So they claim added muzzle velocity. They link it to the snappiness that I was complaining about, that almost like 30% of the people that left comments in my videos thought I was tripping over. They link that technology to the snappiness that I was noticing, because for me, it didn't make sense. If this is your direct competitor, all right, a CZP-10C or the Glock 19s of the world, or the MNP 2.0s of the world, if these are your direct competitors, why is it that when I shoot, it feels like I'm shooting one of these? The issue with felt recoil, you can't really put a number to it. You have to be behind the gun. You have to shoot it next to other guns to be able to tell the difference. So was I wrong about what I was saying? No, if you read their statement, because they're linking the step chamber to some of the recoil or snappiness that I'm alluding to. Now let's get to their claim of added muzzle velocity. How much? You gotta be able to put a number to it. If you're gonna put a claim like that out there, you have to be able to back that up with data. Can you put it to the test? And can that test be replicable by people that do not work for the company? Can anybody literally grab your gun, direct competitors, the same type of ammo, use a chronograph and get the same results? Unfortunately, I do not own a chronograph because I was about to go do it right now because I'm getting ready to go to the range anyway. So, but I'll see if they do have one. I really do want to put it to the test. But my man over at work, the trigger beat me to it. Here are the results that he got.
I wanted to point out three of the things that he talked about in the opener. So one of them is that the gun is snappy, and he talked about that being a byproduct of the step chamber and the higher velocity. Well, it's also a byproduct of the design of the gun. Same thing with like the Canik TP9. It is a snappier gun than other guns in its approximate size. It's got a big old hunk of a slide that's being lobbed back and forth, and they just end up with a little bit more recoil impulse. And then last is the byproduct of that step chamber that they say gives you that 50 extra feet per second. So the CZ-P10C with a 4-inch barrel, it's 4.02 inches, so we're talking another 20 thousandths of an inch on the P10. It has a velocity of 1,174.6 feet per second average across those 10 shots. The Glock 45 with, again, a 4-inch barrel is running at 1,151.8 feet per second. Now we come to the PDP, with the touted 50 feet per second more compared to other firearms with the same barrel length. With the PDP, we're looking at a muzzle velocity of 1,164.6 feet per second. Pretty much right smack dab in the middle between the CZ and the Glock.
The P10C came out on top. So no, I'm not wrong. This is snappier than most of its competitors. The step chamber did that. Some of it has to do with the step chamber, according to their statements. All right. Really, what I would love to see from Walther, and this is not me bashing the company or coming after them. I'm a very small YouTube channel. I'm only doing this because, quite frankly, I'm not getting anything out of this. As a matter of fact, I feel like I lost because I spent my hard-earned money on this piece. It's like going to a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant, you order food, you are paying for the food. If it doesn't taste good, you're in your right to say it does not taste good. It may be good for the couple sitting next to y'all or on the next table over, but if you don't like it, you don't like it. I had an experience like that at a restaurant that's very well known in my area. It's a fancy restaurant. I'm talking about when you get there, it's Aston Martins, Bentleys, Ferraris, Porsches parked outside. Everybody wants to go to that restaurant. I get there. My wife sits down. I sit down. The first thing I had to do before I even, settled in my seat was to step on a cockroach. But this is a restaurant that everyone wants to go to. That right there for me just ruined the entire experience. I even ran into a guy that's very well known on YouTube, has a very huge following on YouTube. That was there. I didn't even know it was there. I walked past him. I didn't even know until I came back. My wife had to tell me, yeah, that's such and such. I was like, oh, really? Okay, cool, fine, whatever. That ruined the experience for me because I'm like, yo, if I'm sitting out here and I'm seeing roaches, what's going on in the kitchen? And you think you're going to bring that food out for me to eat? So yeah, if anything, I'm not gaining out of this. I'm actually losing. I really feel like this was a loss because I didn't get what I was hoping to for what I paid for. Good thing is they priced reasonably. If they were priced like an FN, bro, I was going to sell this right away. And I'm also wasting my time making this video. All right, so there's nothing to gain out of this. I'm just giving you my perspective. I had an issue. I noticed something. I brought it up and they acknowledged that some of their technology is linked to what I've noticed. On top of that, they added another claim that they get higher muzzle velocity than other barrels of the same length using the same ammo. Can we see it? Because so far, Walther trigger tested it, and so that's my response to this whole snappiness of the Walther. All right, it is snappy. Now, the positive about this firearm is that it exposed some of my flaws in terms of grip and recoil management. It really exposed it, which I appreciate because it made me change my technique, which I can see how effective it is now, even with my other firearms, especially this one. So, if anything, this made me a better shooter. All right, that's the one thing that I gain out of this. It actually forces me to work a little harder than I'm used to extract the most out of this firearm, be able to shoot fast, be able to stay on target and manage the recoil, because that step chamber has a little pep in its step. See what I did there?
I like that.
All right, guys, that's all for me today. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. I should make kind of like a short video of me saying that, so that at the end of the videos that I make, I can just add that to it and be done with it, call it a day, and tell y'all God bless, and I'm out.